What's up, guys? Silver here with another Halo Master Chief Collection Achievement Guide. This time we're doing Part 6 of Keep Your Foot on the Pedrogas, which is complete all of Halo Reach's campaign missions on Legendary in under 3 hours. So we're going to start this up. We're going to do this on Legendary, obviously. We're going to run forward. There's no enemies to start here, but once we're through these 2 sets of doors here, there's going to be 3 skirmishers at the top of the stairs. We're going to take these guys out with some headshots from our pistol, hopefully. If not, they'll run away, which is no big deal. We'll just kill them later. They're not really any more difficult later on. Grab a plasma pistol, and we grab more magnum ammo from that dead marine on the ground there. And we're just going to use this plasma pistol to take out these suicide grunts really easily. It's good because it keeps the grunts like stunned, and they kind of get knocked back, so they don't really come at you and potentially kill you with these plasma nades flying everywhere. So we're just going to safely be back here. And then we want to, as soon as we get a needler, we want to start juggling this needler and plasma pistol forward, because we're going to use the needler once we get past the suicide grunt section. So we're just going to keep using this plasma pistol to shoot and knock back these grunts as they come at us with their plasma grenades, but we're not going to let them get anywhere near us. So just keep moving forward with this strategy, and you want to keep collecting needler ammo. So whenever you see a needler on the ground, go grab it, add it to your stores of needler ammo. And we're almost done with this little section. Keep an eye on your radar, because sometimes grunts like to come at you from the side or just around the corner or something like that. But we're collecting ammo now for the needler. There's more magnum ammo right here. And then we're going to move ahead here. There's one more little room of suicide grunts, and any skirmishers that ran away will be up here with them. So you can see there's one up there hanging out, just chilling, trying to blend in with the grunts. But we know he's a skirmisher. But those grunts actually charge your position in a long single file line. So if you take out the guy in front, you'll probably kill all of the ones in back from the grenades going off from the first one. So again, we're looking for more needler ammo. Sometimes you get a bunch, sometimes you don't get that much. But we're going to grab the health right here on the back wall. And then we're going to go through this door. And we're going to pause for a second as these civilians run out and get killed by the brute dropship here. So we're just going to peek our heads around the corner. Once that dropship leaves, we're just going to head down here and sprint towards this brute who has just scored a touchdown, and he's going to spike the ball. Oh, wait, that's a human being. Never mind. But run up behind him and assassinate him real quick. And we're going to try to headshot these brutes from afar with our magnum if we can. Make sure your rate of fire isn't that crazy, so your bloom reduces every time. And then there's 3 more brutes that are dropped off by the dropship there, and you could easily take them out with the needler pretty quickly. They don't have any shielding or anything, so enough needles go in them, and they will super combine and explode. And then we'll take out these guys. They come through the door once you kill out all of the first enemies that are here. There's 3 skirmishers and 1 more brute, so you should be able to headshot those skirmishers and then finish off that brute, possibly with a headshot, or you could always go for the needler again as well. So we're going to move up here to the stairway, run up here. There's going to be some grunts up here. Sometimes there's 1, sometimes 2, but just punch them to death. They're going to be caught off guard, so you can just kind of melee both of them real quick. Then we're going to look at the right side of the map here. You can see I'm looking at this stairway. There are a bunch of grunts over here, and I'm trying to kill as many as possible before they kind of scatter around the map and are tougher to locate. But there's a bunch towards the right on the stairways over there, so kind of look over there to start when you come in here. And then we're just going to kind of hang back, and as quickly as possible, we're going to take out these enemies by headshotting the grunts, and we could continue needling the brutes, of course. So we have a DMR up here that I picked up. Much more accurate, much more easy to headshot any of the enemies up here. So hopefully we'll be able to take out all of these enemies with just this DMR and also the needler. But there is more DMR ammo down on the bottom floor, and there also is a bunch of magnum ammo throughout this map as well. So the brute captain is up on the top there. We're going to take him out with a few headshots from the DMR. We got to knock his helmet off first, and then we could finish him with the headshot. And then we're going to move up. There's going to be jackals up ahead here, so watch out for those guys. Obviously for them, we could headshot them if we get their shields out of the way, so we're just going to shoot them in the notch in their shield. They have a little section where they could kind of poke their hand around and shoot at us. So we're just going to shoot them in the hand. That gets them to kind of get knocked back, and then we could shoot them in the head once their shield is out of the way. So that's how we're going to kill them. We're going to move up here, and it looks like there's still a couple brutes left, so we're going to take them out with the needler. You could continue collecting needler ammo. There's a handful of grunts in this area that will have a needler, so you might find a couple more on the ground. There's also additional needler ammo in one of the crates back here. So we're going to grab that and fill up our ammo as soon as we're done with this first wave of enemies. But we're going to run over here. You can see I could activate this switch now. So we're going to activate this, and to the left is more magnum ammo if you need more of that. There's also more needler in this crate right here. And we're going to set up down where we came from. There's going to be 2 dropships that drop off enemies down here where we came from originally, but also some enemies that are dropped off up towards that switch that we activated. But you can see I just grabbed some DMR ammo from that crate, and there's more magnum over here on the ground. But we're going to take these guys out first. There's going to be 3 skirmishers and 3 brutes. 1 has a hammer, so we got a ham boy in the house. 2 ham boys, actually. The other dropship has a hammer as well. We're just going to hang out back here. And we're going to stay indoors because there's actually a gunner on that turret, and we don't want him to shoot at us. We're just going to kind of look out here and hopefully take out the skirmishers as soon as they land with some headshots. Sometimes you could nail them, sometimes you can't. But then we're going to switch to our needler to kill the charging brutes. Sometimes they go into armor lock, but that's all right. We're going to back up this stairway because we are being pushed back. We didn't take them all out as quickly as we wanted, but we will just continue to retreat and take them out as they run right at us. Easy enough. It's the perfect situation is an enemy running straight at you while you have a needler. They will go down real quick. So we took out all of these guys. I think one of the skirmishers ran away, but he's up here with his friends now in the second drop ship of enemies over here. So we grabbed the health on that wall there, and we're just going to really just hang back and slowly and methodically pick off these guys. Continue with your headshots with the DMR. Continue needling those big, bad, naked brutes, and we'll be able to move to the next section in no time. So here's the other ham boy. Get out of here. I'm a turkey man. That's not true. I like ham better. I like my ham boys. Anyway, let's go to the elevator and activate this switch. I'm going to skip ahead because there's like 20, 25 minutes or 25 seconds of just riding the elevator, so I skipped ahead. We're free of the elevator. We're going to sprint over here. There's going to be a Marine with rockets. We're going to take those rockets from him, and we're also going to fill up our DMR from that crate on the left here, and we're going to run over here with a good amount of rockets and a good amount of DMR. Grab a jetpack, of course. We got a jetpack across here. Become part of the bullfrogs. Open these gates up. Grab that. Jetpack over. And we're actually going to skip this whole battle right here that we're about to come close to encountering, but we're not going to do that. We don't got time for that. This is a speed run. We're going to jetpack all the way in this direction onto this little I-beam here. And we're just going to continue along here. And then we're going to jetpack over here and onto this ledge. And we could continue around, and we're going to jump out, and then we're going to start jetpacking, and we could kind of cut back to this ledge, and we're going to continue along the ledge. We love the ledge. We are under the section that we're supposed to be on top of right now, skipping the whole battle. There's a bunch of jackals, grunts, and brutes, and we're just going to go to the left at this point. You can see a little like cross-bracing something or other structure here. Then we're going to cut back to the ledge, and then we're going to go back up to this I-beam, back up like we've been here before. This is the first time. Then we're going to look up, and we are going to jetpack up to here. And as you can see, there's a bit of a welcoming party here. There's some grunts and brutes in the area, but we're just going to go to the right here, run up these stairs, and you should be fine. Most of the time, you can make that run easily. If not, you always get a checkpoint right before you try that, so it's not too bad if you get killed a couple times. You'll be able to try again real quick and get up there. And we're going to find that there's 3 grunts up ahead here. We're going to kill them real quick. There's also a phantom. We want to grab more DMR ammo here, and there's also health. There's also more rockets. So we are loaded now and ready to go. Kill these grunts, wait for this phantom to peace out, and then we're going to move forward, and we're going to jetpack up on top of this building. We're going to skip a good portion of this whole section, so just jetpack down to here onto this little balcony over here, and we're going to go to the edge of this railing to about where it starts curving towards the left, and then at that point we could actually jetpack up onto one of the lovely pieces of trim on this architecture up here. So we're going to jetpack up to the first kind of piece of trim that's kind of wrapping around the building. We're going to land here and then get some of our jetpack back. Once we get enough, we're going to jetpack up again, up and over, and we're going to go around this tree so that the AI behaves how we want it to, and we're going to just assassinate this fuel rod guy, and most of the time it works. This time he turned around, which I didn't like, but a direct rocket will kill him. But however you kill him, you want to come back out to the outside here and jetpack up to this point, and we're going to just kind of hide up here while we take out these enemies so we have a good vantage point. And you want to be aware that there's 2 grunts that have fuel rods, so they can take you out pretty quick. So we're going to focus on killing them first. And also that Brute Chieftain had a fuel rod, but we already took him out. So ideally you would assassinate that guy. He wouldn't see you. But if he does, he'll probably be surprised, which gives you a chance to stick him real quick and then give him a nice little rocket care package to the chest. And then we could just get back up here like we would normally. And when you first get out here, you can see that there's a phantom that drops off these troops, these plasma turrets. So that's why I went inside immediately, because I didn't want to get shot by the phantom turrets. So now that the phantom is gone, we could come back out here and kill the troops he dropped off. The turrets down on the bottom, the shade turrets, are easy to take out. You could just poke your head over the railing and headshot them. There's only a grunt inside. And once you kill the occupant of the shade turret, for whatever reason, these particular shade turrets just blow up so no one else could get in them, so you don't have to worry about them once they go down the first time. And we're just going to use our rockets liberally, and we do want to save 1 rocket at least. So we are going to find that in this particular run-through, I had 1 rocket left and 1 ham boy. So I'm just going to kill him without the rocket here because I want to save this, again, like I mentioned. And now I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because we just stand here. There's a lot of dialogue. The Falcons come and pick you up, and it takes a while. So here we go, skipping ahead. And here we are in the future somehow, on a chain gun, on a Falcon, ready to go. This is a whole scripted segment where there's a bunch of enemies. We want to focus on these brutes to start, and then there's going to be another brute that we want to focus on. None of the enemies down here matter. We want to just focus on this brute because this brute has a plasma repeater, and he could really tear into you and kill you real quick, so we want that to be avoided at all costs. Then there's going to be some grunts and a brute down here. I don't think you really need to shoot at these guys, but I always do out of habit. You should probably start focusing on the Banshees at this point because those are the guys who are the real threat at this point. And I'm just not taking my own advice. You can see they're tickling me from behind already, and I should already be focused on them. But I was distracted by grunts, distracted by getting those kills. But we need to be focused on the objective here, which is just survive at this point. So the way we're going to do that is by taking out as many Banshees as possible. They have Banshee bombs they like to use sometimes, which is pretty annoying. They also have their plasma turrets, of course, the plasma cannons. So we're just going to look back and forth. They like to swoop in from the left, which is why I keep looking back there. Here they are. And then they kind of cut across your screen to the right. So we're going to take care of these guys as much as we can. Sometimes you can't even shoot them. They're like just to the left, too far for you to be able to shoot, to turn your gun that way in that direction. But they always despawn the pilots, which I always like to look at. It's just funny to me that you could see the canopy of the Banshee just opens up and the pilots just despawn and the Banshees fall into the ocean every time. Very strange. I like it. A little quirk of the game. But we have a new set of Banshees up here, so we're just kind of doing the same thing at this point now, fighting the new set of Banshees, hoping they don't actually Banshee bomb us with their RNG. But we're almost at the end here. This is the beachhead firefight map. This is the final section of this mission. Just getting a few shots on that Wraith that we're going to have to deal with in a little bit. You don't have to take out that Wraith at any point to finish the mission, but it's just easier if you do. And now we have the final group of infantry here that we're going to take out with our chain gun. And we're just going to tear into these guys. It's going to be pretty easy to take them out. They're distracted by the Marines up ahead here. And we have a giant gun to help us out. So we're going to take these guys down pretty quickly. We'll probably finish them off before we're even dropped off, which is annoying always to me. I'm like, let me off. They're all dead. Why am I still on here? Why can't I jump out? I'm a Spartan. I could drop from orbit, but I can't drop the 10 feet down to the ground here. Come on. We're finally out, and we're going to move forward towards this crate. There's DMR ammo in here if you need it. There's also some more health back there by that dead Marine up against the rock. And we're going to move forward, and we're going to grab this Warthog. We're going to exchange our rockets for whoever gets in our passenger seat. We're going to give him the rockets. So we're going to hop in. I like to drive all the way back over here to just speed things up because they do not like to move quickly at any point in time. So we're a little susceptible to Wraith fire at this point, which I don't like. But we're going to hop out, make him get out, and we're going to exchange for whatever weapon he has. We'll just give him the rockets. And he'll be able to actually use those rockets way more effectively than us at this point because he will have infinite rockets and just fire at will basically while we circle around the map, while we would just have one rocket left. So somehow he's turning 2 fish and 5 loaves of, what was it, two loaves of bread and 5 fish into like a massive buffet. Whatever that story was, whatever those numbers were, we're going into the ocean. We're going to circle around the map here. We're just going to focus on this Wraith over here on this side. There's 2 Wraiths, so we're going to focus on this side, and we're going to go up here. And there's just some enemies in the area. I'm just kind of circling and taking out some enemies. There's 2 ghosts in the area as well, so we took out that guy. You want to try to not drive straight at ghosts because they could actually do some pretty good damage to you if you're driving straight. And obviously if you're driving straight at them, you're not really evading any shots at all. You're just taking them right in the face. So the Wraiths go down pretty quickly on Legendary. A few of these rocket shots will take them down. So we took out the far Wraith, and now we are taking out the middle Wraith, which again you don't really need to take out. But we're going to take him out just because we want to be a little more safe. There he goes. Now we only have to worry about the troops that are actually near these 2 switches that we have to flip. And then we're going to... I'm just kind of like moving up here, waiting for my rocket guy to get a good shot at him. And the rockets he shoots actually lock onto the enemies too. So he has infinite rockets and they lock on. I don't know how he does it and me, a Spartan, can't do it. But he's discovered something very valuable to the team here. So we're going to move forward. You want to be aware that there's a plasma launcher brute on the bridge who likes to go back and forth between the 2 switches. So be aware of him. Just because the switch area is cleared out doesn't mean that you're totally safe. There could be that brute coming across the bridge. So I feel good enough to just move in here. I just threw that nade not to kill him necessarily, but just to distract him, give him something to think about. Maybe he dodges or something and stops moving forward for a few seconds. But you can actually see that the video spliced together a little bit there, and my timer jumped up a little bit, a few seconds, because I actually drove over here and died real quick. But I reverted to my last save, and here we are again on our second try for this little part. But you want to make sure you kill that ghost quickly because he is one of the bigger threats. You also want to be aware of the grunts in the area because the grunts could plasma pistol you, overcharge plasma pistol you, and then you're just stunned and you're a sitting duck, and you are susceptible to all sorts of fire, whether it's just gunfire or more plasma pistol overcharges, so you continue to sit there, or grenades. Not great combinations, but we're going to not do so well in this part, I guess. We're getting flipped over, and we're getting our shield taken down. So I guess we'll just back up and let our shields recharge and take some enemies out with our DMR in the meantime. And we're actually going to be approaching the end here, so I'm going to just drive up here. Most of the enemies are dead, so I don't even care that my gunners are gone or my rocket guy is gone. I'm just going to park this thing, and oh, it got stuck. What a perfect example of what do I do if my Warthog gets stuck and it blows up. Well, we could go over here, and there's actually going to be a Warthog that's overturned in the on the beach over here in the water. Is it in the water? No, it's not quite in the water. It's close to the water. Right here, up against this rock, is another fresh hog. So we can flip this over if we find that your Warthog is blown up, and you want this for the final section where we're going to speed over from the second of two switches, and then we have to go activate one final switch. So we want to speed in between those two switches. So we're going to drive our new hog over here. We're going to get up here, whether it's by stairs or jetpack, either way. Run over here, and we're going to activate this switch, and we're immediately going to cut back and go to our hog, whether it's the first one or it's this hot new ride we just got. And then we're going to hop in and just speed to the building over here up ahead. And then we're just going to jetpack up, and we're going to activate this switch without fighting anybody else. There's a whole wave of enemies that come at you with a phantom and all sorts of chieftains up here you could see. But we're going to totally ignore that. Ain't nobody got time for that. This is a speedrun. Activate that switch. Cue the cutscene. So we came in at 18:24 here, which is pretty good for our purposes. We want to try to hit under par time for each mission. If you add up all the par times, they add up to 2 hours, 35 minutes. So if you get under par time for each mission, you're well under that, which is well under 3 hours. So if you actually miss the par time a few times on a few missions, that's totally fine. You can make up for it on other missions, and there's also the built-in 25-minute buffer from the par time to 3 hours. So that is how you do that one. I will see you in the next segment where we tackle Part 7, New Alexandria. Thanks for watching, guys. If you found that video helpful, be sure to click on the scorpion icon to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. You could also check out some related guides by clicking on the videos on screen, and you could find links in the description for other social media links of mine. Stay tuned for more Halo guides, and I'll see you in the next one.